everybody out there on the internet, it's me, the Roller Geezer, and today is going to be my follow-up review of the Eugen Ennen Shadow Skates. It's been roughly a month since I got mine, and I'm going to tell you how they feel, are they worth it, all that good stuff. What can I say about these skates? Initially, I like them. I mean, I've been a shadow skater for, easily 15 years plus. If you've watched any of my last few street edits, you've seen me in those shadow skates. That last pair that I had, I mean, they were crumbling apart. I mean, if you looked at the unboxing of like what my previous skates looked like, the Damian Wilson hybrids that I created, those went through some stuff, and I was so excited that they were making another shadow skate because, by Jove, it is so hard to get parts and such. So I was all excited. One of the key problems that I had with the last shadow skate that came out in 2019 was the fact that the boots, the boot liner that they made, really hurt my feet. And I gave them a shot. I really did. But I couldn't do it. So I had to retrofit the skates to work with the old foot wraps, which wasn't hard. I mean, it's essentially the same skate that it's been forever, but well, there's a little bit of tinkering and it had to happen. Well, I figured you go in with these new liners, these new liner boots. They got rid of the quick laces and that, and I was thinking, yeah, this will be great. For me, it is not. These are really stiff and sturdy boots. Really good stuff, but I still have the same problems. Power Slide just cannot make me a liner that works. They just can't. I've never had one that worked. They've always destroyed my ankles, and these did it again. I mean, I applaud it. I mean, it's got a nice, thick tongue. I mean, this is good stuff here. It's a good walking shoe for the most part. I mean, if you don't like to, bend. But it just has the same problem. And I gave it an honest try. But it didn't work. So I had to fix the skates to work for me. Now, sorry, Power Slide, you just can't. I don't know what it is. In theory, I should like these, but I don't. So, what did I do? Well, I went back to the drawing board, or just back to the old well, and I fit this to now hold my Chris Farmer foot wraps. These foot wraps are so old, they can drive. I've had these foot wraps, these are the original Chris Farmer 1 foot wraps, for 16 years. I have used these. I've had a couple others, the DL1s, when I had that. Really good foot wrap, but that has just fallen, those have just fallen apart. I didn't even like the Damian Wilson foot wraps, and I love that skate. So, shortly after, because they remind me of like bedroom slippers gone wrong. So, I've just had these, and I love them. So, I stick with them. But how do I make these work with this? Well, thankfully, not too much has changed with the boot itself. So, if you knew anything about the new skate, you knew they were going back, and they'd mentioned his name several times about Damian Wilson's skate. Which, again, the moment they said that, I'm on board. I want these skates. And this part up here is great. It reminds me exactly of the Damian Wilson Pro model. It feels good. It's on top of your foot. This feels great. I love the fact that they finally did something with the ratchet here. This is solid. I like this. It's way better than the old school ratchet, because I always ran into problems. I mean, I still have, and they would fit in this just fine, but I still have probably half a dozen of like ready to replace for these, because they were always a problem getting ripped apart. This looks stronger and seems to be working way better. So far, so good here. But what happens when you have to fix everything else? So I had to, because you're no longer using the boot, I had to add a pad. So I have these pads from another Shadow Skate, and I had to, because they never got rid of these holes, thank God. I took one of those screws and I poked a hole through the Velcro, and I put this through, and it cinched in just like it always has. I mean, that's the only real bad thing about this. It does not have anything else holding it. Now, theoretically, I could do that, but I'm not compromising the integrity of the strap itself here to do it, even though I could. But I put it through so it holds there, but you can't skate this skate with nothing up front here to cover the strap. So what I did, because I have a little bit of a sewing background, I took old shoes that I was gonna trash anyway. I cut the tongues out, and I did a sewing job. Oh, that one's already popped. That's never good. So I sewed with fishing line, 2 loops onto a shoe tongue, and then stuffed it so that it would cover the top here. Because the problem is, if you run it bare, this strap will rub against your leg and rip your skin off. It just happens. So I had to do something. So that's what I went and did. And since I've gone to that, these feel amazing. It feels so good. It's like nothing's changed, and it works so well. I'm now going to start showing some actual highlights of me skating. So a lot of this stuff has been recorded by some of the guys from the 757 Skaters crew. Tom and Ricky did a lot of the filming of this. I got some of my own, but I mean, it's just like nothing's changed. I still feel pretty good with these skates. They slide well at the locations that I've been. But then again, I've always been a fan of the Kaiser suspension system. You know, this, and by Jove, I gotta find more because I'm starting to run low on these, because this is so good. But fundamentally, nothing else has changed, and it feels so good. And I was kind of worried that when I made the switch over to the foot wraps, that maybe I'd find another point, which, I mean, there is a small one, but it doesn't bother me at all. I grew accustomed to it. This is the best Shadow Skate I've had in a long time, because they address the big problem that I've always had. Don't cheapen up and just have this strap go across the front. You gotta keep doing things like this. Have a big power strap that secures your foot in place. And I mean, this isn't a whole lot of fabric here. In the long run, with all the stuff that you're buying, because this is the other smart thing they did. They stuffed this. This is sturdy, so it feels tight. It feels good on top of your foot. You feel like you actually have protection. Thank you. God, that's what I've been wanting. And they did it. They finally went back to this instead of like making this piece smaller. Because like before, I mean, they still kind of do it. you just have this piece that goes around the over the top here, and that's all that's really holding you in. No, this should all secure you in and make you feel like your foot is really attached, and they finally figured it out. So thank you for that. Yeah, had a real good time with these, and if you're a shadow skater, go with them. I mean, they're just the same as always. Solid skate. I mean, you still got, cafeteria tray sole plates, for your regular and your negative. You can't go wrong. I mean, your setup below is going to be different than mine because I'm riding frames that have been out of style since, the Obama administration. But hey, they work for me. So if you like shadows, go with them. Nothing has changed. If anything, they've improved for the first time in a long time. And they're overall a good time. So I guess I'll just finish off with a bevy of tricks that I did during the month. So until next time, kids, toodles.